Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for some very awesome music entertainment news. Let's get into it. And before we start, I remind you that we pour one out for E-News. It's gone. After 34 years, E-News is gone. But our music entertainment news remains. Keeps going. We keep trudging through. We keep grinding to get you the information and audio that you need. And we will be here for you no matter what. We will not get canceled. I hope.
I hope not either.
Usually that sounds like a challenge.
All right, here we go. First off, My Chemical Romance have debuted an unreleased song at their concert in L.A. over this weekend. My Chem treated the audience to a previously never-before-heard song titled War Beneath the Rain. Before diving into the track, Gerard Way explained that it was taken from the sessions of a, quote, record we were making that never came out in 2012. That's pretty much when they went on hiatus at that time, I believe.
The band went on hiatus in 2013. So
Yeah.
this would have been the fifth My Chemical Romance album that none of us have ever heard.
So we haven't heard anything of it except for what they played over the weekend.
Dodger Stadium, yeah.
Which now makes me just like want to hear that whole damn session. But here it is. So you know what? I like it.
Sounds like a My Chem song. It's very good.
Yeah, how about releasing the whole thing, guys? It'd be a great time to do it in about a month before you play Soldier Field right after the Oasis show. That would be cool. Do it here in Chicago. You can come in here to the station, a formal invite from Q101 to Gerard Way and My Chemical Romance. You can come in here. They've been in Q101 before. Since at the very beginning of the band, they used to come in here and be on the show. And you can keep doing what you usually do and then drop an album on the air live.
I guess that's good that you say that because I'm now afraid that maybe My Chem thought that they weren't welcome to come in here, but they are. Let's make that very clear. My Chemical Romance's doors are open.
I've told the story that the guitar player wanted to take my amplifier after playing through it. I had a guitar amp in here, and he played through it, and he came into the studio and asked, he said, hey, whose amp is that? and I said, oh, that's my amp. This was Ray Toro, by the way. And I said, it's mine. He goes like, it sounds awesome, man. Can I have it? He just said, can I have it? And, you know, looking back, I probably should have just gave it to him.
Yes, you should have.
You said no.
I said, well, it's mine. But what I did do was do even one better, and I'm proud of this. I can say this on the air, that I sent them. It was a Randall amp that was made here in Chicago up right near the border. That's where U.S. Music's company headquarters were at the time. And I said, I got a friend up there. I'm going to send you up. And they were playing Milwaukee next. So he stopped up there. And at that time, as far as I can remember, he got an endorsement deal from the amp company and ended up getting a free amp anyway. And they've never thanked me on stage for that, which is a little upsetting. I'm hoping at Soldier Field they rectify that.
Do a little make good?
Yeah, a little make good. Like, hey, thanks for the amp hookup.
They probably just remember it as the guy who said no.
Yeah. Maybe I should have, if I said yes, then it would remember me more
You should have
fondly.
just said yes and then went and got the amp instead of no and then sending him one.
Yeah. But I did still hook it up at the end, but I guess it was a little muddled in the beginning with the no. No, but Ray Toro just gets better and better as a guitar player. The whole band does.
Kenzie, I don't know if you feel this way, but Brian and I were talking before you got in this morning about how we've been so focused on Oasis, because Brian and I have Oasis tickets. You famously do not.
Oh, boy.
Okay, you know,
None of us have My Chemical Romance tickets for the night after at Soldier Field, and
Facts.
now we're experiencing pre-FOMO. We're already devastated that we're not going to be at the Black Parade shows. Are you in that same boat?
obviously.
So
It's a real hard time with tickets.
isn't it nice that we're in that one together, though?
This big
Oh, it's
boat.
really nice. I
we're
feel
all,
great.
We're all on this boat. It's very nice.
Yeah.
I think I'd feel better if I was going to My Chem and then I could rub that in your face while you're rubbing Oasis in my face.
True. True.
That would make me feel the best. I think.
I could understand that feeling. How it would feel good.
Versus just no tickets.
But just to remind everybody, you have no tickets to anything
I
ever.
have none.
Yes.
Yep.
So one would feel better, I think.
And you may not
I
be
think that
aware,
would make me feel better.
you know, even for the ones the night after, which is the Lumineers at Soldier Field.
Right,
And
right,
then System
right.
of a Down, 2 shows.
Yeah.
You have 2 choices at shows. 5 shows at Soldier Field in a row, about a month
Right.
away.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
think a ticket would make me feel better.
Yeah.
5 shows, Kenzie, you have 0 tickets.
Right. So there's none out of 5.
Yeah.
Right.
I just want to make sure I got the math right on that it's none out of 5.
Yeah, before you could start counting and then you could just stop before you do because I have none.
And there's 5 shows you'd love to go to.
No, it's so many things I'd enjoy happening at once.
Yeah.
No, yes.
You can count to
yes.
5, but you got to stop at 0
You have to stop.
in that situation.
You can lift your hand up and then just stop right there.
Right,
you know?
right.
It's unbelievable.
Well, again, Mike Hem, we'll try to get them to come in the studio and release the entire album that they put aside in 2012 with that great new song on it, and they're going to be phenomenal, and it really is. With all the thoughts of that pre-FOMO and these audio clips that have been released from Mike Hem, same thing with Oasis. And over the weekend, they played Wembley. I don't know if you saw those videos, but I thought all of London was going to just collapse. Incredible. And they gave a little dedication to Ozzy Osbourne, a little shout out to Ozzy. They put it on the screen when they played this song.
I want to dedicate this one to Ozzy Osbourne, rock and roll star.
They played Rock and Roll Star, and they dedicated it to Ozzy. A great young picture of Ozzy Osbourne up on the stage. It was phenomenal and just chilling. And to see Wembley Stadium, insane. Again, we're a month away from that show at Soldier Field, Thursday, August 28th.
We're exactly 1 month away. I just realized it's the 28th.
Oh, my goodness.
Inconceivable.
Wow. There we go. How many tickets do you have, Kenzie, for that show? I can't remember.
I have none currently.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yep. It's going to be phenomenal. Now, the weekend box office, a lot going on. Kay started off the weekend on Friday at 8 with his movie review of Happy Gilmore. He'd never seen it. And that led to a weekend of Happy Gilmore 2 dropping on Netflix. I tried. I really did. I just a couple moments, had some friends in town, Megan's brother's in town. I thought I could watch a little bit of it. Didn't, so I want to sit and make sure I watch it fully. If you got to the theaters, the Fantastic Four opened up with a solid $118 million, far from the all-time Marvel debut, which was 2022's Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. But it still is right in a range of top 3. Third best start because Deadpool and Wolverine and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So, I mean, it did a pretty phenomenal. And Superman has topped $500 million. Actually, I believe, $500 million.
Yes.
Superman
and F1.
And I really wanted to see Superman, and I haven't gotten to the theater to see that yet either.
Well, you got all these days. You might as well use them to go watch a movie.
Well, I'm in the middle. I'm moving in a couple of weeks and just all this packing.
Okay, so when you're busy in a couple weeks, don't go see the movie. How about you go see it like now?
All this packing I'm doing now. It's all.
You have not started. I bet you $1 million. Have you put anything in a box yet? Brian.
Not one thing's in a box.
Not one thing. Okay.
Are you manifesting packing?
Yeah, Kenzie taught me manifesting.
Also, I love the idea that you can't focus on Happy Gilmore 2. Like, you have to sit down and watch it like it's The Matrix. You're going to be able to figure it out even if there's stuff going on around you.
I want to pay attention. I want to see every detail that was put into Happy Gilmore 2 properly.
So instead, you just won't watch it all.
Until some things are in a box. I got any more things in a box than none to watch the movie, which we'll get to.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. What a wild weekend on the South Side.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
So the Sox walloped the Cubs on Friday, 12-5. A football score going on in the big fireworks show afterward on Friday night. What a great night for baseball down there on the South Side. But the Cubs said, not so fast. On Saturday, they won 6-1. And then yesterday's game was back and forth. Actually, I should say the Cubs were up, and then it fell apart later for them. But the Sunday, they won, so the Cubs win the Crosstown Classic. And the Cubs used a solid start from Ben Brown yesterday and that offensive burst early, but then some insurance later on. So the Cubs are 62-43, and because of that series, they turn their attention to tonight. Pivotal 3-game series at the Brewers at American Family Field, because the Brewers had a 3-2 walk-off win over Miami Marlins Sunday. Both teams enter a dead heat. National League Central tied at the top. This is it. It doesn't get better than that. That's a movie right there. But let's go back to Sunday for a second.
It's a movie for a mid-August baseball series or mid-July?
Well, yeah, damn right. This is it.
I love it.
It sets the tone. Like Pete Crow Armstrong did with it was kind of a weird double, a 2-run double.
The crowd's at third base. Side base hit. Trickles down the line. Tucker scores. Here comes Saya. No throw. PCA wide turnaround second. Stays there. 2-run double. It is 2-0 Cubs.
But the moment that will live in infamy is Ian Happ getting caught in a rundown from third to home. It was going on at first and second, then ended up third and home, and he took out Colson Montgomery. Very, very reminiscent of A.J. Przynski back in the day in that Cubs-Sox rivalry. And here's how it sounded.
Grounds at third base. Side base hit. Trickles down the line. Tucker scores. Here comes Saya. No throw. PCA wide turnaround second.
Okay, that's the PCA shot again. Here's the Ian Happ collision. Here it is.
Shaw takes it away. Throw back to first. And now we have trouble. Eco racing back. Now the runner heads home. Here's the throw. It's high. And now Ian Happ is in a pickle. Here's chaos. Ball hits Ian Happ. There's a collision. And Happ is ruled that he's going to score. It's interference. And it's 5-1 Cubs. Oh, baby. How about that?
He almost said he's going to be called out. He started to say that. And then as Ian Happ, 6 foot, 123 pounds wet, took out 6'4", 250 Colson Montgomery.
Big boy.
Yeah, welcome to the league, son.
Ian Happ had momentum. It's not fair.
Nothing's fair in life. That's what you got to learn. Colson learned that.
I learned that with our AI segment last hour.
The life's not fair.
Nothing's fair.
Yeah, what a great time. And the White Sox, with the Cubs going up north, the White Sox welcome the Phillies to the south side. That's a big series. I'll be at the game on Wednesday with my wife's company suite, living large up there. Looking down on the peasants.
Okay, that's enough, Brian.
Tell us how you really feel.
But I'll come down and shake hands for a moment.
And kiss some babies?
Yeah, that's right, in between innings. I can't wait to get there. First week of Bears training camp ended much better than it started on Friday. Caleb Williams looking much better. They started off really rough. But 13 days till Bears-Dolphins at Soldier Field. Again, 13 days. The NFL will start fining more players, 100 players, and also people that work in the organization for reselling Super Bowl tickets for a profit. They're trying to do this because Super Bowl 60, they want to make sure they get everything in order. But players have done this. They're not allowed to do that. They get these tickets for friends and family, and some sold them for profit. I think when you give a gift, it's yours forever, and you can do what you want with it. But the NFL didn't like that. So they're going to get rid of some of those guys, or at least fine them. They're going to be very strict about this going forward.
They're going to get rid of some of those guys. What are the NFL mob boss?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is gone. You're not going to see him?
Pour one out.
No Josh Allen?
Isn't it kind of funny to imagine, like, players are making all this money, like, selling tickets, though?
Well, me and Case were talking about this, Kenzie, before he came in, and I thought, these are probably guys that make, and I'm not saying this is nothing, but maybe $1 million a year a cornerback, let's say.
Chump change for
bunch
you.
of brokies.
Yeah. They're not in a suite at the White Sox game. But can you imagine if Patrick Mahomes got caught selling the Super Bowl tickets to make like $300 or something?
It'd just be, like, so funny.
Yeah. Finally, Billy Donovan and the Bulls agreed to a multi-year extension. Pour one out for the franchise. Billy Donovan seems like a nice guy as a respected coach, but his record is 195 and 205. Last year they finished 9th and lost for the third year in a row in the play-in. So they've had one playoff appearance totally in 5 seasons. Time to give someone else a shot. That's all I'm saying. He's not a bad guy in any means, but we can't sit here and keep accepting this as good for millions of dollars. Anybody give him a shot. Somebody else. Step up. It's ridiculous they did that contract signing. But go Bulls. Hey.
Well, Reinsdorf made more money than ever, so what's going to stop him?
So frustrating. So frustrating. Can't wait for basketball season to start.
Can't wait for it, baby.
Let's go.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
I just wiped my hands off just in time enough. It's one of those glorious days at Q101. And we can share with people that we work with on a regular basis, and they share with us. Really, it's more them sharing. But it's Wing Week right now at all Big Onion hospitality venues. So that includes the bars Fat Pour, Hopsmith Tavern, and Woody's Flat. The wings they just brought in for us are all from Woody's, which I go there regularly, and their wings are phenomenal. And they double smoke them. So they brought in all these new flavors of wings for Wing Week, or different flavors, some that they have already, just the regular, the buffalo you always get there, which is standard. But they have a Malort wing. They've partnered with Malort to make a Malort barbecue wing sauce. It's available for this week at Woody's. And they're bringing it back in October for the sauce of the month as well. But this is awesome. So National Chicken Wing Day is actually tomorrow. So the sauces from Woody's Wings will be available at all the venues, including that Malort one. So when I say all the venues, that means Fat Pour, Hopsmith Tavern, and Woody's Flat. So that's over in Old Town. Again, I love that place. So you got Malort wings. I just tried them. I had to
So I haven't tried the Malort one yet. Was it Malort tea?
Let me tell you something. You bite in, and it's all that delicious wing, and the barbecue hits, and then you get that Malort afterglow.
Afterglow.
It's real, and it has to be tried if you consider yourself. I know when Lauren gets in here, we'll save a few for her.
But is it too strong? If you're not a big alcohol drinker, is it like a hint, or is it like, damn, I took a shot?
It's not like a shot, but it certainly hits. So you get the enjoyment of Malort without. If you're not an alcohol drinker, you're not going to get a buzz off of it or anything.
Okay.
So you'll try one during the song here. Play some Miles Smith. But to cap it all off for them, they're doing a wing eating contest, and that will be all week long at Woody's Flat in Old Town. There's prizes for first, second, and third. First place is a year's worth of free wings and $500 cash
That's awesome.
for eating the most wings in 30 minutes in venue at Woody's Flat. So go to their websites, go to their socials. You'll see it all there, much easier. Details on all the sauces, each locations. Wings will be $15.25 per order, a 1 pound order. That's a good deal, especially these days. Everything's gone up in price, and it's even chicken wings. So that's a great deal. So again, thanks to Big Onion Hospitality's venues, which are Fat Pour, Hopsmith Tavern, and Woody's Flat. The wings are phenomenal and delicious on Wing Week. You got to eat wings on Wing Week. You got to do that. If you don't eat them any other time, just do it there. Try those Malort wings. They're fantastic. Brian and Kenzie, Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. What are you taking away from today's show? Text in your takeaway right now, 312-591-8300. Something that was memorable to you today, something that was enlightening, something that was funny, something that made you think, something that made you share the show with someone else today. We love that when you share the show. Anybody, maybe even someone you don't like, go ahead and share it with them. Might make you guys friends. So text in your takeaway right now, 312-591-8300 from today's show. And from last week's shows, I got so many DMs over the weekend about Billy Corgan being on the show live from the UK talking about Ozzy Osbourne. And if you missed that, there's a little clip of the 14-minute conversation we had with Billy Corgan about the tragic passing of Ozzy Osbourne, but him performing at that Black Sabbath farewell show, and just the response and the admiration for Ozzy just all over the place last week.
There's something about him that reached people. So what does that tell you? It's not really what happens. It's kind of what you do with what happens. When I was on the BBC last night, they ran this kind of like a news report before they had me on. And they were talking about, he bit the head off the bat, and there's all this stuff. And you know, we're talking alternative rock fans here and rock fans in general. We don't give a junk about any of that. That doesn't mean anything to us. It's when somebody reaches through the radio and grabs you with their voice, or they're there for you when you're lost in life. They create that special relationship, and he was a one-of-a-kind singer. It just worked. It just always worked.
I just love the part where Billy just wanted to say, we don't give an F about that. He goes, we don't give a junk about that. It's good self-edit on his part, but I've never heard anybody say that before.
That's a pro.
Yeah, when you say, we don't give a crap. We don't give about this junk.
It's not his first time here, okay? Meanwhile, Brian and I curse sometimes on accident.
I know, we've dumped ourselves, and Billy knows radio better than us.
He does.
It's incredible. He was so good, Billy talking. No one, you have all the things you've heard of the tributes was like Billy last week on this show with Brian and Kenzie, and it all exists on the Q101 YouTube channel. It's all there waiting for you in the Brian and Kenzie podcast. Anytime you want, anywhere, you should subscribe to the podcast and our YouTube channel if you're not already up on there. I fell into a wormhole of our YouTube channel, actually.
Don't you love doing that where you're like, oh, that's right, we have all this cool stuff up there?
I forgot all this cool stuff we have on there.
What wormhole did you fall into?
Well, I started with Billy, and I got all the way down, I'm talking years ago, to Billie Eilish's performance.
That's a good one.
In our lounge before anybody really knew who she was. Mm-hmm. And it's got, I think, 10, 12 million views on that one.
It pays our bills.
Yeah.
The ad revenue we get from that one video.
What wormhole did you fall into recently?
Well, sometimes I see our YouTube shorts, and it'll be me interviewing an artist, and I'll forget that I asked a question, and then I'll go, Good question. I'm really interested in that answer, that I watched the answer, or I was also watching the 311 Lounge that we did last year over the weekend because I wasn't in the lounge for that.
Yes.
I couldn't make it. It was on a weekend. So I went back and watched the 311 Lounge, which was a year ago, and pretty good.
Let me tell you something. I was there, and I was actually reprimanded for jumping up and down too much because I was shaking the room, the lounge. The floor was moving because I was jumping up and down because they came in with their full gear. They came in. I work here.
I'm sorry. Kenzie's shaking her head in shame.
Yeah.
Just like, sit down, Shamu. Come
No,
on.
I ain't doing
What is
it.
wrong with you?
Because they brought all their gear in that they played the Salt Shed with, and it was the loudest lounge in the history of Q101's lounges. They heard it 4 floors up. The lawyers on the 8th floor were like, oh, what's going on down there? Some tomfoolery. And that just added Nick Hexum to tell everybody to turn up. And that lounge is one of my favorites of all time. They were so damn good. Not that I just love the band so much, but just the fact that they played full-on electric with big amps and pedals.
Bands are doing that lately. We had Winona Fighter in the lounge 2 weeks ago. They had enough gear to play the United Center. Bad Flower.
That's two people, too.
Every time Bad Flower comes in, it's like you guys aren't playing Soldier Field. You don't need all of this stuff, and yet they bring it. Girl Tones, who's playing Lollapalooza, they were in the lounge last week. They were fully plugged in. Love when that happens.
Love it. I'm going to keep jumping as long as you play electric and rock in our lounge. So all those performances are on there in the interviews, Lauren's first listens. There's so much good stuff on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Get in on the fun. Keep sending your takeaways in, 312-591-8300. Brian and Kenzie, Q101. We had Stephen Jenkins of Third Eye Blind. His interview's up there as well on our YouTube channel.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for your takeaways. Lauren on her way in. She's going to love these Malort wings that just got dropped off. Thanks again to Big Onion Hospitality. And you may go, who's that? Well, you might go to these bars. Fat Pour, Hopsmith Tavern, and Woody's Flat. Wing Week. They dropped off a ton of different kinds of wings. They're all just incredibly good. Can't stop eating them, but they partnered with Malort to make a Malort barbecue wing sauce available for this week. And then they'll have that for in October, too, for their sauce of the month. And then the wing eating contest at Woody's Flat in Old Town, which I love that bar. Great college football bar, actually. And, just thanks for dropping off those wings. We got Lauren going to have those Malort wings. We'll see what happens when she eats them.
So what happened is Brian ate 10 minutes ago, and now you're struggling to finish off the show. Is that right?
This is why I don't eat except for meat sticks and protein shakes during the show, because when I get something like a chicken wing in me, I want beer. I want to drink. I want to eat more wings. I want to watch football. Let's go. Eating chicken wings in morning time slot of radio just doesn't. It's like, wait, where am I now all of a sudden?
You're still doing the show. That's where you are right now.
We'll finish it up. Okay, so takeaways. Case, what do you got?
Takeaway from Marshall. His takeaway, rest in peace, Shamu 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh.
We did have to pour one out for Shamu, the SeaWorld whale who died in 1971 this morning.
And the rest of them.
I'm not sure I've ever heard you laugh so hard when you found out that Shamu died in 1971.
Because I think you were expecting me to say 2011.
Yeah. Hendrix. I wonder who died first, Hendrix or the first Shamu.
Well, we'll find out.
You work on that while Kenzie gives her takeaway from our listeners.
Okay, takeaway from Brett. Today's number of the day is 0, as in Kenzie has 0 tickets to any of the Soldier Field shows in August. Thank you, Brett.
Very Sesame Street-like. Like that. 0. Joe checked in from 630 finally, and also about Kenzie. Kenzie is willing to date a 98-year-old guy if it will make her rich. And to be fair in that statement, she had choices of, I think, a 71-year-old guy, a 52-year-old guy, even an 18-year-old, but nope.
There wasn't an 18-year-old, and that's weird. Okay, that's just weird.
You could date an 18-year-old guy if you wanted to.
I would never date an 18-year-old. He's a baby.
He's a baby.
I'm not going to date a baby.
No one would judge you, though.
That's bad. I'm not going to date a baby. I'll take the 98-year-old.
They're fine. He doesn't have diapers on.
I'll wheel him around.
Oh, yeah, that guy's got diapers. He's not a baby.
That's still more appropriate.
I don't know which one you get more respect for, an 18-year-old or a 98-year-old.
The 98-year-old relationship doesn't have to last as long. That's the problem. That's why you go there.
That's the thing with those.
The 18-year-old's going to outlive me. That negates the whole point.
Kelly just checked in with another takeaway. So just to be clear, Kenzie has 0 tickets, right?
Not if I meet this 98-year-old in time.
You're going to buy Soldier Field.
Hell yeah.
So what do you got, Case, on the podcast?
On the Brian and Kenzie podcast today, Brian recalled the time that Jack White leveled somebody over a guitar pedal. We fell into a really weird 2005 wormhole this morning.
So fun.
A little behind the music there. Also, during Clash with Kenzie, Kenzie got distracted by her love of rich old men. It might have cost her the game.
And her marriage.
And her marriage. Well, more important, even Steven. And also, Brian and Kenzie reacted to the new astronomer ad with Gwyneth Paltrow, and we discussed how AI will bring on the end of the world if you're looking for a lighthearted conversation this afternoon.
So Jimi Hendrix died in 1970.
And Shamu died in 71. So Hendrix might have seen Shamu at SeaWorld.
Correct.
And he would have loved it, too.
Yeah, and Shamu got to experience, he mourned for Hendrix.
He
or
heard-
she.
yeah,
I don't know what
they.
Shamu is. They.
Shamu heard castles made of sand and said, wow, this guy's really something special.
And when he died, he's like, "Why am I? I'm out. There's nothing more left for me in the ocean or at SeaWorld." There you go.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.